decided that I'm going to concentrate on something that interests me, that might interest you or not. I watch a lot of body cam movies, films, whatever you call them. And there's this one particular channel I watched recently. And by the way, I just want to give you a reference for the channel. It's called Mfiles. You should look it up. It's called, and it's spelled M-F-I-L-E-S. Just to give them credit for what I'm reacting to. It's a recent upload, probably a week ago. And it is what I haven't looked at hoarder films before, but this doesn't touch it. It was a huge house. The lady was a hermit with health conditions. She had one person. She did have a brother. I don't know what their contact was, but he didn't live in that city. She had one person who she contacted, and that was a helper who used to deliver her groceries. So the story starts with the helper in the driveway and all groceries scattered about. And so it goes on. I'll try not to be too detailed. I tend to be. It goes on to the helper saying that she had texted him about 2 weeks ago, said she had fallen, and asked for help, said she was throwing up. And he had some family obligations, and he wasn't able. So he did feel uncomfortable after 2 weeks not hearing from her, and he went over and saw that mess in the driveway, and he contacted the police, and the police, it was about 40 minutes, 20 minutes of them trying to enter the house. They called a fire. They broke every window out of the house, but listen to this. Her mental health, or whatever health, had deteriorated to the point that every window was clogged with debris. And it wasn't hoarding debris, it was debris like garbage throwing out. Like you'd eat a package, you throw it on the floor. You go to the bathroom and you throw stuff on the floor. She had animals too. She had exotic birds and cats. So it goes on and on and on and on. They did make entry, but it was just, the piles were 7 feet high in every room, not just one room, but there was no paths. And so what they did, they were climbing over these 7 feet and then fumes were coming out, and ammonia from the animals, and they had to exit. It was just not suitable for living conditions. So they left, they exited, they couldn't find any trace of her. And what they decided to do was to leave, and they didn't explain in the video why, but I think I know. They had all the windows broken out of every part of the home. What I think they were trying to do was have the ammonia and the fumes escape, so it would be more safe to work with. They waited 8 months, and they sent in a hazmat crew and a big, big excavator to demolish it, because they just, I guess they assumed, they wrote it off as she was deceased. So when they went to push in on the home, they did it at the entryway, and they found her buried under piles and piles. And there was her and her phone was in a little plastic bag. She was right by the entry. That's apparently as far as she could get in. And a walker was next to her, and she was obviously skeletal. So it was very sad, and everyone in the comments were saying, "Oh, dirty, it was so, oh, that's so filthy," and everything. But I think a lot of people don't understand or recognize what a mental health condition or what you call it, early dementia can do to a person if they don't have contacts. And I'm alone. So it really hit me. It really hit me in the feels, because, you know, I'm thinking, wow, give me 10 years. But the only good thing that I have is that I live in a building. And, you know what I mean? They check a lot about, you know, this and that and this and that. So this is a good thing about living in a building is, well, at least in Newfoundland, excuse me, at least where I live, people will check. But I'm surprised that her neighbors who live next door didn't notice anything, didn't notice the debris in the driveway, etc. Anyway, sad story, but interesting. You really should look, if you're interested in body cam films or you know, stuff like that, you should look it up. There's a lot of interesting stuff on that channel. And I'm not promoting the channel. I'm not connected to it. It's just the channel that I found this video on and thought it was interesting.